This time, we will briefly survey Protestant churches in way of their denomination. Okay, after the Reformation, we want to know how Protestant denominations were established chronologically. Okay, we should know this. Surprisingly, many Christians, including even pastors, they are lacking in understanding and studying chronological establishment of Protestant denominations. Then I will give you very brief lessons on this, because you should know this, because this is the way that after you understand this structure, then you will understand how denominations has their own their theological positions. Okay. Now, first of all, here, Reformation was what year? Reformation was 1517. This is a turning point here, historical moment. You see, prior to the Reformation, Roman Catholics and Orthodox churches. Now, these people's view with respect to a salvation doctrine, okay, they were not Calvinistic doctrines. Their salvation doctrines somewhat universal. In other words, that God gave all Christians chances to be saved, conditional upon they should join their respective denominations. For instance, people should join Roman Catholics, then they will be saved. Okay? And people should join Orthodox churches, then they will be saved. That was their doctrine. Let me repeat, universalism. Okay, universalism means all human has a chance to be saved. But there was a condition. You should join our denomination. Otherwise, no salvation. Okay? Now, here, with that doctrine, Reformation took place. Now, the Protestant denominations, Protestant church peoples had carried that spirit. They carried the spirit. Okay? Now, here, first denomination, Protestant denomination, 6 years later, 6 years after the Reformation, Baptist people formed their denomination. So the Baptist was the first Protestant denomination. Okay? But that Baptist is called Anabaptist. Ana means again. What again? Yeah, you see, previous time, under the Roman Catholics and Orthodox churches, they sprinkled the water on people's head. Okay? Sprinkling baptism. Now, these people, they were against that sprinkling baptism. They said, look at the Bible. Even Jesus was baptized, okay, immersed in the water. It's water immersion. Immersion, that's going down into water, okay? So they said, now we, new Protestants, we have to change baptism mode, okay, into water immersion. Otherwise, no salvation. That was their debate. Okay, no salvation without the water immersion. There will be no salvation. Okay, that's why they were called Baptist people. It's a Baptist means it's a water baptism by immersion. That's their emphasis, even today. Now, they say Anabaptist means you give up that previous sprinkling, you need to re-baptize. Otherwise, no salvation. Okay? That we call Anabaptist. The first Protestant denominations. I'll give you this, okay? The founder of that denomination is Grevel Conrad. He was a Dutchman, Netherlands. It's a Dutchman, not Englishman. So today's Netherlands was the first denomination, Protestant denomination formed. Now, these Anabaptists has their doctrine. We theologians, they are General Baptist. General Baptist. Don't forget that terminology. Okay. Now later we will study the particular Baptist. Where is it? Right here. The particular Baptist. They're different. General Baptist and particular Baptist. I'll tell you how do they different. Okay? General Baptist means it's Arminianism and also universalism. Universalism. Is this. All peoples are designed, predestined for God's people, conditional upon their acceptance, free will, by their free will acceptance. Okay? So that's why it's a free will. Free will Baptist. That you are responsible, your free will is responsible for your salvation. So general means almost everybody has a choice. Okay? You have a chance to be saved. That's General Baptist. You see, particular means it's a Calvinistic. You know, Calvinistic is what? Even before you were born, you were chosen, okay, for God's salvation. So only those chosen particular people are destined to be saved. It's a totally different concept, isn't it? So in the beginning, right after the Reformation, in general, took kinds of Protestant groups, general and particular. Okay? In other words, general means is Arminianism. Particular is Calvinistic. Two kinds of groups. Now, first Protestant church, Anabaptist, they were not particularism, they are general Baptist. Because Calvinism, not yet at the time. It's Calvinism started right here, Reformed right here, 1541. Okay? Interesting. Okay. Now, after this Anabaptist, Luther, Martin Luther, he's a Germany. Okay? Martin Luther came up with his own denomination called Lutheran Church. That was a second Protestant denomination. Now it's very big denomination. Anabaptist people dwindled in terms of numbers. It's very small numbers now. But Baptists, I'll tell you later. Then, in 1534, Anglicans appeared. Anglicans means entire UK, okay, gave up almost the majority UK people, gave up Roman Catholics. Used to be a Roman Catholic country. And they formed their own Protestant denomination called Anglicans. The head of that Anglican church, now Henry VIII. Okay? Prior to Henry VIII, Vatican Pope was head of that church. Okay? After they gave up Roman Catholics, they formed their own denomination called Anglican Church or Church of England. The same name, the Anglican Church, also the Church of England. They also are general. They believe they are Arminianist people. Okay? General salvation. As to Anabaptist. But these people, even Lutherans, did not follow Anabaptist water immersion. These people just carried their previous Roman Catholic mode of sprinkling baptism. So they are the one sprinklers, Lutherans, and Anglicans, sprinklers. Okay? Then Calvin appeared. Calvin used to be a Roman Catholic theologian. Now, he appeared and he formed his own denomination, which is Reformed Church. Reformed Church, 1541. Now, upon his appearance, he came up with Calvinism. Calvinism means only particular people were destined, predestined, and also practiced sprinkling baptism. Now, Here, Calvin, he was a Frenchman, but he opened the church in Switzerland, Geneva. One of his disciples, one of Calvin's disciples, who learned the Calvinism from Calvin, by the name of John Knox. He was a Scottish man. He went back to his hometown, established Presbyterian church in Scotland. Here, 1560. So now, here, Reformed denomination and Presbyterian denominations, they all practices sprinkling, okay, but against general salvation. They were what? Particular salvation people. So these two denominations today, they believe in Reformed theology. Reformed theology means Calvin theology. In other words, they are particular theology. Does it make sense? Yeah, these people. See, I do follow their teachings, so as you. Let me repeat again. Reformed, founded by Calvin. Presbyterians, founded by John Knox. Possessed Reformed theology, Calvin theology, particular theology. Okay? That all happened here right after Reformation. What a diversity. Before the Reformation, there were no such divisions, no such newly invented theology. But now, right after the Reformation, newly invented doctrines appeared. Now, listen to me carefully. I haven't written on the board, but just tell me. Now, a power system within a church. Would you write that down? Power system. In other words, authority system within the church. In the Roman Catholics, number one, in the Roman Catholics, power lies in where? Who holds the power? Pope. Okay. Now, so as Orthodox churches, power lies in their popes, but they don't call popes patriarch. It's a father. Okay, there we call it patriarch. So power lies in top person. Now, here, Anabaptist people, they brought down power to lower level Baptist people. They believed church should be democratic. So power should not be held by even pastor. Power should be all the way down to general congregations. So the Baptist spirit, even today, power should be held by civilian laity, lay people. That's the Baptist spirit. Now, Lutherans, did not believe that laity power system. Lutherans also have their own high bishop. It's a bishop system. Okay? But bishop would not have such a almighty power as the, Pope, but he will share some of his powers with his subordinate. It still is a bishop system. Anglicans, they went back to old Roman Catholic style. Okay? Power lies in King of UK, England. Still today, power is in, who is it? Queen Elizabeth, head of the church. Now, under her, Canterbury. Okay, still, power lies in the high level. Even pastors are bishops. Bishops and pastors, they held quite a power. Now, here, Calvin came up with democratic way of church management. He brought down power to elders. Elders, that's the elder system. The Presbyterians. Presbytery means is elders. It's a democratic way. The people will vote elders, certain number of elders, and let those elders managing the church. So elders possessed power. It's like a parliament system. Okay? Much democratic way. So this system was invented by Calvin and taught that system to John Knox. The John Knox went back to his hometown, Scotland. He formed officially Presbyterian denomination. Okay? It's a power system got a little bit downward to elders level. It's an elders committee, democratic way. That's a Presbyterian system. So decision-making process was held by these people. Now, many UK people have discovered elder system had some disadvantage, problems. Because those elders are so arrogant, holding power and authority. So many lay people disagreed with elder system. Those who were against the elder system built up their own denomination called Congregational Church. Congregational Church. As it said here, power should be within the congregations. So lay people should have power. That spirit is very similar to Baptist spirit. But Congregationalists did not agree with the Baptist water immersion. Because of the water baptism, sprinkling baptism issues, they got divided. Okay? Same congregations and Baptists, same idea. Power lies in where? At the bottom level. Okay? But because of the water baptism issues, got divided. What are divisions? Yeah, that's a human nature. Here, Congregationalists, some of them, among them were, we call Puritans. Have you heard the Puritans? Yeah. These Puritans went to USA. You know, the Plymouth, they emigrated to USA. They were the USA Protestant, the earliest Protestant groups arrived in USA. That's why American peoples are very democratic and people-oriented, not high power-oriented. Can you see that? So these people went to America, Puritans, built the Harvard University and Yale University. Princeton was built by Presbyterians, Princeton University, but Harvard and Yale and all these, all these universities in those days was built by Puritans. But too bad, today, these all Puritans now denying the Trinity God. Write it down. It's too bad. Very sad story. These people denying Trinity God, only believing in one God. They even deny the deity of Jesus. Too bad. When I have time, I will tell you more detail on this. Now, here, Congregationalist. Here, 1602. This church started here in England. Now, after this Congregationals, General Baptist, Anabaptist, okay, you see, General Baptist and particular Baptist, it means that churches should be democratic. We hate those power groups within a church. The power should lie in the lay people. But within that power system argument, among them, two kinds of Baptist people. They were fighting each other over their theology. You see, commonality among the Baptists is that water immersion, right? Water immersion believing people are called Baptist. However, within the water immersion practices, two groups divided. Two groups means General Baptist means against the Calvinistic view. Okay? They said all people are subject to be saved based on their belief in Jesus with their free will. So it's a free will Baptist, we call that. Okay? General Baptist and free will Baptist, or Arminianistic Baptist people. So we call them General Baptist. Later, all these General Baptist people turned to, even today, all religious pluralism. Okay, now, here is a famous people's name I just recorded here. John Smith is a Dutchman who formed in 1608 General Baptist. You see, over there, Baptist, Anabaptist. It's the first part. Anabaptists are strong, that they're very strong people who are so strong on again Baptist. Okay? But these people are a little bit linear, a little softer than Anabaptist. They compromise it. Okay? Sprinkling, okay, we will accept, but it's better to have water immersion like that. Now here, John Smith is a Dutchman. He formed the General Baptist denomination in Dutch, in Netherlands. Now, later in 1612, in England, Thomas Helwys, who founded General Baptist denomination in England. Netherlands was the first, and England was the second. And their teachings went to America. So this man, Roger Williams, is a very famous man. Roger Williams in 1663. So these people, American Baptists, was started right there. So in America, two kinds of Baptists. General Baptist and particular Baptist. In other countries as well. Now here, listen to me carefully here. In the meantime, you can see a particular Baptist denomination came to existence. Particular Baptist. But is this particular people, 1633. 1633. See here, General Baptist came into being in 1608 and 1612. Okay? Now, against their teachings, although you are Baptist, some of them possessed Calvinistic doctrines. Okay? Church historians call them particular Baptist people. The founder of the particular Baptist is Benjamin Kitch, right? Kitch in England. And there's one famous man, John Bunyan. Have you heard his name? Yeah, John Bunyan. They are all particular. John Bunyan. And another famous man is the first modern mission of father of mission. You know William Carey? He went to Calcutta, India. First missionary, modern missionary who went to Calcutta around like that. Actually, is 1796. He went to Calcutta. All this, and Charles Spurgeon, you have heard the name, okay? So all these famous people's name, they were carrying particular baptism, particular salvation, Calvinistic salvation. Okay, I just write them there. They have Reformed Baptist people. Okay, or Calvinistic Baptist people. You see here, always, these people are here, they are majority. Even today. These people are, even within the Baptist, a minority. Now, today, the largest Baptist denomination, the largest, I would say, largest Baptist denomination in the world today is Southern Baptist in America. Yes, Southern Baptist, write it down there. The Southern Baptist in America is the largest Baptist denomination, even largest second largest Protestant denomination. Now today, first largest Protestant denomination is the Assemblies of God. Today, they came late. However, within the Southern Baptists, there are two groups. Tell me in what way? General Baptist people in there and particular Baptist people are in there. Okay? The General Baptist people are, now they turn to religious pluralism within church, within the Baptist denomination. So they joined WCC, liberal people. Now, within the denomination, this particular Baptist people, they are evangelicals. General Baptists are not evangelicals, they are liberals. Okay? Although Baptists, two kinds. More liberals than evangelicals. That applies to your country. You will see missionaries from America, out of Baptist. You can see two different kinds of missionaries who possess different view on salvation. So you should be able to distinguish as we study historical stories right here. Now, you see the next, it's about 150 years later. Latecomers is Methodist. How many years after? 1744. So it's about 200, around 30 years after the Reformation, Methodist was formed. Okay? It's these Methodist people, they are general people. Methodism. Okay? Universalism people. They are against Calvin's teaching. They believed in Arminianism, universalism, conditioned upon free will exercise. Okay? Here, John Wesley, this man here, formed Methodist. So these Methodist people, they were very strict people, forcing their people to follow Bible teachings straight in the area of lifestyle. That's why it's called Methodist. Method. You follow strict teachings of Bible teachings. So you pray, Bible study, and holy life. Okay? Away from worldly teachings, you should be very pure, the holy people. So I would say holiness movement is a Methodist teachings. Not only that, you should be diligently enough to share the gospel to save people. So very much evangelistic oriented denomination. Very sound denomination. But today, those Methodist people joined religious pluralism with WCC. Why? Because of their general salvation view. You see? So its general salvation view is very poisonous. They believe here religious pluralism teaching is what? Salvation beyond Jesus Christ. Whoever believes in their own religion, you are subject to be saved. It's too much generous to other religions. Okay, now here, John Wesley, in English people, now about 100 years after, now it's a modern denominations came. Here, 1843, Seventh-day Adventist people. Ellen White in America. I don't want to say much in this particular denomination today. Some of these people take this as heretic cult. Okay? Now, after this is a late 19th century here, Salvation Army came out. Salvation Army, it's a part of Methodist. Out of Methodist, some people under the William Booth leadership in England, Salvation Army came. Emphasis on social service, seeking for helping the poor people, underprivileged, and some sick people. That's why they built hospital and schools. It's a social, gospel-oriented group. Now, today, they joined WCC. Okay? Now, upon that, all these churches, pros and cons. Now, new so-called Holy Spirit movement started. It's a charismatic groups appeared in America near the 1900. Okay, it's 1886. The first charismatic people, these people in Church of God, Cleveland. It's that always you have a fixed Cleveland, Ohio. So Church of God, Cleveland. Even today, it's a big denomination. Charismatic people appeared. Okay, these people, within that people, two kinds: general charismatics and particular charismatics. Are you with me? Yeah, within that charismatic people. So many people out of these conventional existing denominations who were seeking for new movement, Holy Spirit movement, transferred themselves to that newly found denomination. So that particular denomination was mixture of all churches, all denominations, formed a new denomination, charismatic movement. Okay. Also, out of the charismatic movement, later in 1914 is a year of the World War I. World War First. Out of the turmoil, okay, so society turmoil and World War I, a new charismatic group formed their own denomination called Assemblies of God. You know AOG, AG? We called it AOG. Your country has that, okay? Assemblies of God formed. Today, the Assemblies of God now became the largest Protestant denomination in terms of membership. Because that movement spread it all over Africa and Asia, even South and South America. So today you can see those assemblies of God belonged denominations and churches are large members and big churches in your countries. Some independent denomination people's practices, their worship style, like Assemblies of God or charismatic people. That is the very attractive way of today's worship style, away from traditional denominations. So today, you can see all these traditional denominations, Baptist denomination, Presbyterians, even Reformed, Anglicans, and Lutherans. You see some portion of this Pentecostal and charismatic styles of worship applied, practiced in their particular denominations and churches today. Now, this time I just want to give you briefly, after Reformation, how many Protestant denominations appeared? Okay, I've given you historical and theological, okay, and the traditional, all these aspects of church development, okay, particularly in the Protestant church development. So you should teach this history slowly, one by one, to your congregations. Because they are wondering, isn't it helpful? Yeah. Based on this, and we will study, next lessons, we will study how these denominations practice eschatological teachings. It should be very interesting. Okay? May God bless you. Amen.